Hey everyone. So, like me, are you getting whiplash in regards to Harry wanting to either come back to the UK or no, do you know what? I'm really, really happy and I do not want to come back to the UK. And I'm quite happy staying in the United States with my wonderful wife and my two children, which is what we seem to be seeing. We're seeing reports of him wanting to come back or not wanting to come back. So I'm going to dive into this and explain to you what I think in regards to the behaviour that we have seen lately in regards to Harry and Meghan and what I think is really going on. So if you want to join this channel, which is a bit of an analysis into the world of the royal family, most of the time it's Harry and Meghan, and I use my many years of experience in the world of psychotherapy. This is something for you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and let's dive right in. So before we get going, it is that time, and you can fast forward this if you so choose. But I ask you to sit back, relax, grab your drink of choice and drop it in the comments what you are drinking today as you watch this video. And as always, I ask you, my lovely supporters, to send in your videos of you sitting back, relaxing with your drink of choice. All you need to do is do a very short video. It can be of you, it can be of your fur babies, it could be your family, it could be literally anything. Be as creative as you like. Email is going across the bottom here now. And you don't have to be on camera if you're camera shy. So here is the new one. Please give it some love and I will see you in a minute.
Hi, Ems. It's Angela. I'm coming to you live from Vancouver. It's very balmy here. Here's my cohort, HRH, Queen Angelita. And we're here to tell you to grab yourself a drink. And here's Wilma. She's here. Yes. She just wants to tell you all to get something to drink, because you know what? Look up there. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Thank you, live from Vancouver.
So I hope you all enjoyed that. And right, yeah. So Harry, apparently, we have been seeing in the media quite a lot, Harry wanting to come back to the UK. And then we see the flip side where we have Harry does not want to come back to the UK. He is very happy in the United States, living in his wonderful mansion with his adoring, wonderful wife and two children. Well, let me stop the media right there, because it is my opinion that they are not together in any sense of the word aside from business. So he is not living, in my opinion, and happily married to his wonderful wife. He is not living in that mansion. I have done videos where I have proven that there is nobody living in that mansion. And also, we all know the truth. Well, 99.9% sure of the truth in regards to those children. So recently I come across an article which was written by apparently a royal correspondent, and I wonder if it's another one of those royal correspondents, a bit like Omid Scooby. His name is Sean Coughlin, and this was written on the 3rd of September. So I'm going to read this and then I'm going to sort of discuss it. So the Duke of Sussex is not The Duke is not planning a permanent move back to the UK, according to well-placed sources, those wonderful sources that they seem to have, despite reports that Harry could be seeking a phased return. Sources suggest he will continue to be based in the United States, where he lives with his wife, the Duchess, and their children. It is understood that concerns over his family and his family's security in the UK remains an issue. Right. Well, I recently came across a post, and she's on Instagram. She's really good, actually. I follow her. She has a lot of good information. And I'll put her name up here. And she put out a post, and I thought, you know what? That's absolutely true. There is a picture that is in their Mock You series of what we are being led to believe is Archie, and he is sitting in the back of a car with Meghan, and he's of course waving an American flag, and he's not seatbelted. So you've got Harry, who is so conscious of his security that he is willing to, and they're driving, so he's willing to, given what happened to his mum, he is willing to have his child, if we're being led to believe that this is his child, in the back of a car with Meghan, not seatbelted. The thing is with Harry and his security, I've said before, this is not about security. This is about his IPP status. This is what he wants. But if he was so security conscious, firstly, why is he coming over to the UK when it suits him? When it suits him, he can come over to the UK. When it's to do with his court cases, when it's to do with other things. And let's not forget that suddenly, miraculously, he did go to his uncle's funeral. But let's also look at the fact, so we can go with the fact that there are no photos that come out. And apparently he stayed at his mum's brother's estate, because People magazine said so, and I'll put that up here, because how would People magazine know if Harry come across here incognito? But that shows you that one of two things happened here. One, Harry didn't come, and this is actually another lie, because it's interesting how whenever Harry has come to the UK before, we have seen him coming out of the airport. We've seen the SUV that he's in. We have seen him turning up to places. But all of a sudden, because he was getting so much backlash about not coming to his uncle's funeral, and I even said this in my last video, I believe, or maybe it was the one before that, I'm not sure, I remember. And then suddenly, oh no, he's gone to the funeral. But there is no footage that I can see of, and a couple of photographs that did come out I think were proven that these were older photographs. So I haven't seen any credible photographs of Harry going to his uncle's funeral. Apparently he was there with his brother. Apparently they weren't seated together. So one of two things: either Harry didn't go, and this is a complete lie, knowing the fact that his family are not going to say, well, no, recollections may vary, he did not go, we didn't see him at this funeral. Or Harry is capable of coming to the UK and not being seen. So this whole thing about security, well, he's just blown that out of the water, because allegedly he's just come to the UK and nobody has seen him, but apparently he was here. So if that's the case, then why can't he come with his wonderful wife and his two children that we never see? Why can't he come to the UK that way? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? So yes, so apparently he is still deeply concerned about his security. Like I've just said, we have proven the fact that he can come apparently to the UK and not be seen. Prince Harry and Meghan are also said to be unlikely wanting to give up on the philanthropic and business projects that they have built while in the US. Answers on a postcard, please, as to what philanthropic and business things that they have come up with. I mean, are we talking about her Orchard Riviera and her 50 jams that went nowhere? Is there anything else? Oh, dog biscuits. Dog biscuits. Yeah, we wouldn't want to give that up. The dog biscuits, even though, again, we have seen no evidence of Meghan making these herself, which you'd think if that she was, I mean, unless she's recording all of this for Netflix, so there's always that, because we they can't give up on that little deal. There have been reports of a prince restless in California, approaching his 40th birthday, discontented with a life amongst the rootless wealthy and seeking to rebuild links with his old life in the UK before he steps down as a working royal. That's called running out of money and realising that trashing his family publicly actually did nothing but hurt him. That's it. As I've said before, if he really wanted to leave, he had plenty of opportunities to do so. He didn't. I think that Meghan fed his ego, and it was kind of like, oh, we can go to the States and we can be like king and queen of the United States and rule the world from over there. That's probably what she said. And of course, Harry, being someone who's very jealous of his brother, was like, oh yeah, that would be so great. That would be so great. Let's do it. And of course, it's not panned out because all they've done is whine and moan and complain and, oh, it's not fair and let's blame everybody else for the things that we've done. And people are sick and tired of hearing it. Of course, Harry's being the top bloke that he is, with his book coming out in October in paperback, has said that he's not going to add any more things to the book because he cares about his family. Or possibly it's because it got so much backlash that he realises that nobody wants to hear him trashing his family anymore, apart from probably Meghan's 5 friends and the 10 Sussex bots that they've got running around in multiple accounts. But a different narrative has been claimed by well-placed sources who say such a return to royal life in the UK is not on the cards. They suggest Prince Harry is equally able to support his charities and projects from the US and can return to the UK for visits. Well, isn't he doing that anyway? Is he possibly because he wants to come over here and see his son? Maybe. Don't know. Allegedly. He travelled to the UK last week for his uncle's memorial service and has since flown back to the US. The memorial service that nobody saw him at. Much of the attention over the event was focused on claims Prince Harry hadn't spoken to Prince William while at the church service in Norfolk, in what has become an icy distance between the brothers. This is becoming very boring now. And what annoys me is when these reporters talk about this, they still want to create Harry to be the victim. Now, Harry and William are not the first brothers to fall out. They're not the first siblings to fall out. But the fact that you have siblings on such a public platform that are known worldwide, for one of them to come out and to lie and trash his family, nobody, well, I'm going to say nobody, there are a select few, but have said how deeply hurtful this is going to be, not only for King Charles, but also for William. The fact that he's watched over the last 6 years his brother change from the way he knew him before, and I'm sure he wasn't completely innocent before, as I've spoken about, but they were relatively close. Even if there was a bit of sibling jealousy there, they were relatively close. But, the fact that it sort of comes out that, that oh, poor Harry, he might want to come back to the UK and make amends. No. Because there is such a thing as it's gone too far. It's too late. You cannot do what you've done and think that there are no consequences. And I've said this before, I think Harry didn't realise that he was going to face consequences. He has been able to get away with things for his entire life. He has had his family forgive him for the things that he said and done, and he has got away with things, and things have been protected. I've mentioned a few that have come out and they were literally swept under the rug. Nothing really came of it. So for the fact that he has now done what he's done and William has literally said, I'm done, I think this is what has shocked Harry. I think it's not so much about his father, it is about his brother. He is shocked and doesn't know how to deal with the fact that his brother wants nothing to do with him. His brother isn't forgiving him. Like I've said, he's got Arrested Development and he's literally there going, but I am sorry and I didn't mean it. And his brother's going, I don't care. I don't care how many sorries you have. I literally do not care. We are done. And Harry's like, but that's not fair. So I truly think that is what is happening. So apparently it says the service was for the late Lord Robert Fellows, brother-in-law of Princess Diana, on the Spencer side of the family, to which Prince Harry seems to have remained well connected. At an Invictus Games service in St Paul's Cathedral earlier this summer, bloody blah blah, the Prince was seen close to his Spencer relatives. The Prince was quick to return to the UK when it was revealed King Charles had been diagnosed with cancer, with his father and son having a brief meeting in London. Well, I was told with good authority that meeting didn't actually happen. In fact, what was demanded was that he was to see his father without Camilla, without William, and this was no, this isn't happening. So there was too many demands, and King Charles said no, and I think Queen Camilla said no, and so this was shut down. But again, the media like to portray things very differently. And again, make Harry to be, like, oh, he walked up the steps all by himself. Yeah, that's called consequences. You, like I said, you cannot behave this way to a family and expect them just to forgive you and be like, oh, yes, this is okay. Yeah, don't worry, just carry on doing what you're doing. It's all good. There have been also trips to the law courts in London, including his battle with the tabloid press over claims of unlawful information gathering. Yeah, nothing to do with the fact that Harry has also lied, and that's also coming out in the courts, that Harry has lied, he's hidden information, he's done all those things. Because, obviously we know we can't talk about that because it's all about how Harry is so hard done by and how Harry has been really badly treated. But yeah, let's not talk about how shady Harry has been and what he's been doing to try and get his... to make it seem that he's the innocent one here and actually not so much. In an interview with ITV, the Prince said that anxiety over safety was a reason why he couldn't bring his wife back to this country. And I picked up on that, and I said, well, why is he saying his wife and not his children? His family, even. If you've got children, when you become a parent, for the most part, they become actually, in a sense, more important because they're little people and they depend on you. So they're even more important than your partner because your partner is an adult. You still care and love about them and they're important, but it's like your kids they're first and foremost. Well, isn't it interesting that when Harry did that interview that he actually said just my wife, not my family, not my wife and children. It was just my wife. And I think that, again, there are lots of little nuggets which when they talk or how they are, in my opinion, show that they do not have children living with them, because I do not believe anyone that has got children living with them every single day would miss them out of something very important. But having made such a well-documented departure from royal life in the UK in a Netflix mocu-series, I'm going to put, because they didn't put that, I did, his book Spare, the couple are now inevitably facing speculation about what comes next. Without a royal role and in an online world, Prince Harry and Meghan could live anywhere, and at present that means working from California. They have charities and causes, and Meghan has put out social media teasers for a lifestyle cookery brand. Have they been teasers really, or have they just been... I've done a 2-minute segment floating around in a kitchen in a ball gown, and that's kind of all I can be bothered to do. And I'm sorry, but the thing is with Harry and Meghan now is everything they do, regardless of what the media print, is tarnished. If she does, which I'm sure she probably will, release some cookery thing because I think she thinks she's the next Martha Stewart or Mary Berry or whatever it is, it's going to bomb because people will tune in. And this is the thing, that's what it was with, it was made to seem like the Netflix mocu-series was so super popular. But the thing is Harry and Meghan bring in the crowds of people that want to watch them crash. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, of course it's not, but this is the way they have behaved and now what people want. They're tuning in with a microscope to look at whether, they're doing things wrong, saying things wrong. People can, I'm one of them. I'm doing that as well. I'm looking at to see, what things where the truth is, because we know that what they're doing isn't the truth. And it comes with so much heat and so much backlash. And that is why people watch, why people tune in to watch what they do. if she had such a huge fan base, you'd see that on Instagram. When she put out that Orchard Riviera, if she was so super popular, we would have seen that with the amount of people following her. You've only got to look at the celebrities following her, and there's not many. You know, Prince Harry is not popular at all. In fact, they're both a joke. And that's why they only go to things that they can control, manipulate, buy the awards to. People don't care about them, and deep down she knows that, and so does he. And that's why I think that there's these little snippets of we want to come back, or Harry wants to come back. Harry misses his old life. He misses being adored, because like I said, if it was about the paparazzi, why would you move to Paparazzi Central? When they moved to Canada, they had all the privacy in the world, and I think the reason why they then hot-footed it over to LA was because it was too private. Meghan wanted all the adulation here in the UK, and if that had continued, trust me, she'd still be here. But because the media started to print things about them that she didn't like, the narrative was changing, and she suddenly wasn't this amazing person that everyone thought was just, you know, the next whatever. She didn't like it. And so then it became, well, I need to get Harry out. You know, this isn't working anymore. And she thought going across to the United States, she'd be able to control that narrative too. She thought everyone would be there welcoming them with the red carpet because she's married to a prince. But the problem is that prince is now tainted. And she knows it. But she still needs him, because with him, even though he's tainted, there still is an element where she gets some things, like the trips to Nigeria, the trip to Colombia. She gets those because she's married to a prince. Not because if she wasn't married to him, I can truly believe that she would not really get those invites, because she'd have no power, no sway. But I think these countries are believing that even though they are no longer working royals, but there's still a connection to the royal family. So it does them some good. And I understand that. You know, you want to show your country in its best light. You want to do that. And those two bring attention. But it goes nowhere else. They do that, you know, they're there for a few days, and then it's like, oh yeah, we've got our, you know, faces in the paper, and that's it. It's all we need. And then they will be markled, if you like. Nothing will come of it. Although with the presidential election looming in the US, it is hard to think they won't want to stir more than pots of jam when issues they've raised, such as online misinformation. But they are the king and queen of misinformation and disinformation. They have lied. And this is what annoys me. And this is why I have said, and I suppose I've got to be very careful here, that there are people backing them. There are people behind the scenes that are using them as well in whatever this new agenda is. Because how can anyone take these two seriously? How can anyone look at these two and say, hang on a minute, with the amount of lies you've told, you literally are putting that out there as well. So you cannot stand up there on your platform and go, oh, I'm all for taking down misinformation and disinformation, when you are doing it yourself. That's craziness. But of course, like I say, the media, who are paid by these so said people, are printing all this sycophantic stuff to make it seem as if Harry and Meghan are these, you know, new age philanthropic taking on the world type people. No, they're not. There's an agenda here, and they are part of it. There have been trips too, most recently to Colombia, but with so many of the trappings of a royal visit that raised questions about whether they were recreating the royal world they wanted to escape. And yeah, and that is exactly what they're trying to do. They don't want to be controlled by what the royal family do. They don't want to do the boring stuff, which comes with being, because the royal family are of service to their country and what they can do for their country. Harry and Meghan are of service to themselves and what they can do for themselves. That is why they run a foundation, if you like, which they take 95% of the profits. And I also want to add that those profits are declining rapidly. I think so far this year, I don't even think they've made, I think it's certainly nothing like what they were when they very first started out. I think when they very first started out, it was something like 20 something million. And then the next year it dropped to a few million. And I think this year so far, they've literally barely raised a million. They are not doing well. And that is because people don't want to back them. People don't trust them. And the only little dribbles of support coming in are from the cult squad. You know, when they do their little whip rounds and raise $100 and they send it to them. You know, so, you know, they're not, no one's interested. So they need the royal family connection. Harry knows this, and this is why we're getting this. And I really, really hope that the royal family do not fall for this. I mean, I'm sure they won't, because they know exactly, and there are some very astute people in the royal family, Prince William, Princess Anne being one, you know, two of them. So I don't think they will believe this, but this is what they're doing. So with the big milestone of his 40th birthday fast approaching, and with such intense public interest, there'll be more questions about the Prince Harry sees his long-term future role. So I think that, yeah, my opinion is that literally this. I think that they realise now that trashing their family has done them no favours whatsoever. They are running short of money. Harry might be getting his inheritance when he's 40. I don't know. There are rumours that Princess Anne has pushed it back, but I don't know. But even so, whatever I think even if he does get his inheritance, I think it's something like 7 or 8 million. That's nothing in comparison. It's a lot to us, but in comparison to their lifestyle and what they need to sustain their lifestyle, it's nothing, and that will go rapidly. And when that's gone and they don't have anything credible coming in, they are left floundering. But again, I say consequences. This is what happens when you have consequences for your behavior. And as much as the media might be sycophantic, the rest of the world isn't. And there might be a select few people that still support them. And maybe some are still hoping for a reunion between Prince William and Prince Harry. But for the most part, people are done. I mean, I'm done. I'm so tired of talking about them, but I do it because you guys want it. But yeah, but it's boring. It's so beyond boring. It's the same thing, different day. And I get why people are fed up with it. But there is still a need for people to want to understand. And I think a lot of people are sitting in the sideline. God, get my words out today. They're sitting on the sidelines waiting for the downfall. And that seems such a sad thing, because that people are waiting for this to happen. But those two have had it coming in a way, because they have done all of this. It's not that they're wonderful people and we're all sitting here being mean about them. It's they have treated a family. Sorry, no, I shouldn't keep saying a family. Two families, because I don't want to forget. You know, regardless of whether or not how you feel about the Markles, they have been treated appallingly. And, you know, let's not forget that, you know, regardless. So, yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with what I'm saying in regards to Harry? Do you think Harry is going to come back to the UK? Do you think that he's going to come back with Meghan and these, the two children that we never see? Or have you seen my other videos? And if you haven't, please go and look at them, because you know, do you believe what I say in regards to the children and their relationship, that they're not together and they're just in this as a business arrangement now? I mean, I'm sorry, but you've only got to look at the behaviour, especially at on the Colombia trip, when the moments when they weren't acting, if you like. There was just so many moments when they just looked like they hated each other, and I do really think that is a lot of the time, and that's why they don't live together. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I am asking you, as always, for your support, because I have 74,000 people following me, which I am eternally grateful for. However, I am noticing that a lot of you say to me that you are not getting notifications of my videos, that you are, or you're seeing a lot of my older videos, but you're not seeing my newer ones. Unfortunately, due to what is going on behind the scenes, which I have spoken about before, the bullying and doxing that is happening, I am getting mass reported all the time, which affects my views. So I ask you, please like this video, I know some of you have said that the like button isn't always working. I think that's might be part of the shadow banning. I don't know. But please keep trying. Please share my video, watch it, like it, comment if you want to as well, because that will really, really help me. I need your support to keep this channel going. I have been sent posts where they are trying to get me off YouTube. They want me gone for some reason. So I need your support. So please, let's not let these bullies win, because they shouldn't ever win. Bullies should never win. So if you want to support the channel in other ways, you can. You can treat me to a cuppa. It is not essential. It doesn't take away from what I do here. You can become a member where your name will go up on the member board. You get member benefits where you can get a free phone call with me about anything. Or you can have a free video call from me where I just say hi, or I can just say, or I can say whatever you want me to say to a degree. If those are not an option for you because you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. But you can go onto my Amazon wish list, and that is there. You can pick something from there and send it to me if you like. If you want to send me a gift, that's also up to you. But the main thing is I am not saying to anyone that you have to do this. I always say, please look after yourself first and foremost. That is the most important thing. This is for the people that just want to do a little bit extra if they so choose to, but you do not have to do that at all. So please don't think, because I've seen comments where people have said, oh, I'm really sorry that I can't send you anything, or I'm really sorry that I can't come subscribe as a member. Please don't be sorry. It is okay. I really, all I ask is that you watch the video, like the video, share it even if you think someone is going to benefit from this channel. That is the most important thing to me. So thank you always. Oh, Arthur's back. Hello, buddy. Come and say hello. Come here. Hello. There's Arthur. So Arthur's saying hi. He wants his chicken, so I'm going to have to go and give him his chicken now. He's just come back from his walkies. So, yeah. So from me and Arthur, we will see you in the next video. So as always, you look after yourself, and I love you. I appreciate you. But most of all, I respect you. Take care. Bye-bye. Mwah.